Welcome back to another episode of Rock Tie. We're your hosts, Sarah,
Michelle.
Amanda.
and welcome to today's special episode, Saturday. And I will pass it on to either Michelle or Amanda to explain what today's about.
So today is going to be a special episode we do called Saturday Special, where it's going to be all about the one and only Jeff Satur.
Yeah.
We're going to try and do an episode monthly, right?
Yes.
And so today is just going to be all about how we came to know about Jeff and a little bit about who he is.
A little fangirling. Go in there.
Just a little fangirling.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I feel like Amanda should go first because she's the only one who has a different story.
Yeah.
What? I don't know what to say. So I discovered Jeff Satur before actually knowing who he is. I knew his name and I knew what he looked like because he would come across my social media because of his fashion. So I knew of him as sort of a fashion icon before I found out that he was a singer or an actor. I just was like, I don't know who this guy is, but I see him in his clothes all over my page. So then when I got into watching more Thai shows and listening to more Thai music, and I discovered all the other things about him, I was just like, first of all, how did he steal all the talent in every area? Because
Seriously.
he's such a good musician, such a good singer, but also his acting is amazing. And considering that most of the acting that I know him from is BL, which kind of sometimes has a reputation as it can depending on the show have some cheesy acting and stuff like that, but Jeff's a good actor. He's really good. So that's how I discovered him, was actually initially through his style.
That's nice. What about you?
For me, it was Ken Porsche. I didn't start watching it when it started airing. I was maybe 3 or 4 episodes behind. And one of my coworkers was watching it and she knew I watched Thai dramas. And that was her first one. She's like, "Oh my God, you gotta watch it. It's so good. Oh my God." And so I started watching it and I was like, "Who is he?" I like him. And then I just fell down a rabbit hole once I realized he
Wait,
sings one of the main songs, whatever. And then I just started down a rabbit hole. And then I found his covers on YouTube and then I got addicted to those and it was just I've never looked back.
no. The same as Michelle. I started watching Kim Porsche. And then I was just like, who that in the back? And then I found out he sang one of the OSTs, like you said, Why Don't We? And then I was just like, was it Why Don't We? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, he can sing, he can act, he can dress. What else can't he do? And
He
yes,
loves cats.
right? Everything.
Yeah.
He's like everything in one person. Perfect. And I was just like, perfect human being. Yeah. Yeah.
So even though I knew him before I saw him in Ken Porsche, and he has such a small part in Ken Porsche, he's my very favorite scene in Ken Porsche has him in it.
Mm-hmm. Which scene? Yeah.
Um, so it's a scene where what is Porsche? Is that his name? Porsche is dyeing his hair in the bar, playing video games, and has a headset on.
Mhm.
Is that the right name? The younger brother.
Yeah, Barcode.
Yeah, Barcode's character. So he has a headset on, he's playing video games and stuff. And then the timing of it, um Jeff Satter's character is there kind of watching over him a little bit, and these guys come in to attack him or something. And so Jeff's character is like fighting them, and Barcode has no idea because he has the headset on, and like it's timed to where like as he like takes down the last one, Barcode's like, yeah, because he like won the game. And then like he
Yeah.
takes it off and he turns around and he's just like bodies all over. Like what happened? I love that
That's
scene.
one of my
That's so funny.
that's one of my favorite scenes too. Especially considering that's after they already had like their fight, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so like Jeff's character was gone, did not see him, like took off before
Mm-hmm.
Shay turned around, and yeah, so it's just like a sweet, like he's still looking out for him. But like Barco's character had no idea what happened. Like he didn't realize
He was
that.
just like,
Yeah.
I love them. But if we're talking about his acting, I want to talk about Paradise of Thorns, which I feel like everybody has watched at this point because it is on Netflix. It's like available for everyone to watch. And like I was familiar with like his acting because of Kim Porsche, but I got more into him because of this. Because we watched it in Thailand. We went to the
Mhm.
theaters and watched it like full screen. And I was just like, oh,
He was so good in it.
Yeah. The
Is it
acting was another level.
is it available on your guys' Netflix?
Mhm.
It
Last time
wasn't
I
last
checked.
time I checked.
Yeah, last time I checked, I couldn't watch it.
Was it on? It was for me last time I saw it.
Do you have a VPN for your Netflix?
Yeah. You need a VPN probably. But yes, I have a VPN.
I know it's on Netflix, but I don't. Last I checked, it wasn't on the American Netflix.
Yeah, last
It
I checked, it
hopefully
wasn't
will
on.
be soon. But yeah, his acting stepped up so much to just like, I mean, he was fine in Kin Porsche, but like in Paradise of Thorns,
Ooh,
yeah, his acting
So
was
good.
it was wild. Yeah,
It was
he's
so
so
good.
good.
it's just oh my god, it's just breathtaking the way he did everything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even look at Durian the same. I'm thinking,
Murder fruit, like
You know, there's a law in Thailand that you can't use durian as a weapon.
really?
I saw that somewhere on social media. It was like weird Thailand laws, and it was like you cannot use durian as a weapon.
Because you could kill someone with it.
Yeah. I mean, clearly they were bloody.
Mm-hmm.
Like that show really made me respect him as an actor in a different way. And I think because like in Kin Porsche and some of the other stuff, like we've seen previews of some of the other shows that are going to come out, and he looks good. He looks pretty. But in Paradise of Thorns, it was like it was raw, and it wasn't about like him being good looking. It, they
Mm-hmm.
weren't like milking the fact that like people fawn
It's
over
good.
him.
Yeah.
Like he got gritty and dirty and raw, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just a totally different side of him.
absolutely love that.
It was so good. Have you guys seen the trailer for Vamp? For Vamp?
With barcode, correct?
No, that one's
No,
happy ending.
okay.
This is the
Then
one
no,
with
I haven't.
Night. Oh, it looks so good. He's like a vampire hunter. I don't know when. It looks like a high budget one, so I don't know when it's gonna come out. But it has Becky in it, and it has him and Luke from GMMTV.
We're gonna have to make another episode just talking about all the shows that he's gonna be releasing. You think so?
Yeah, if we ever get Wuju Bakery,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild to me that they put so much into that and then just weren't able to actually release it. And now it's more complicated with people being at different companies and stuff. But
yeah. Well, I mean, they're still filming Happy Ending. He said that he hopes to start filming this year.
Oh.
so it seems like he does a lot of music festivals during the like winter months there. And on his Instagram, or not Jeff's Instagram, but Studio on Satur, I think, and their Instagram, they have like a monthly schedule, and then they have like, here's the schedule for the year. And there isn't always stuff filled out, but there's kind of some like to be announced later boxes. And I noticed last year when I was there, he did a lot of different music festivals around Thailand through like November, December, January, maybe. And so I'd be interested to see when he can film, because when you look at that, I'm like, that's like a couple concerts a month at least. Plus he's got to be doing new music. Like he does so much. Like,
Yeah,
how
I
does
feel
he
like
find the time?
he's like, I have a day here to film. I have a day here to film. I have a date. Like, let's fit these all in.
Yeah. And
Busy
now
man.
this summer he's gonna have the Latin American concert tour.
Yep.
Because I noticed July wasn't on that year-long schedule. But now that he's announced those like surprise stops, it kind of makes sense.
Anxiety.
It is exciting. I also like that. Look, it's gonna sound weird. Not weird. I like that he's older. He's not like super old. He just turned 30. But I appreciate that fact.
I'm gonna say
For those
this.
of us who are not young, unlike Sarah,
Yeah.
it's nice because like there's so many actors and musicians and people that we see. Like if you like Thai media, so many of the people you're exposed to are so young. I mean, and I'm saying, young, like they're Sarah's age.
Yeah.
But it's not
No,
appropriate for me to lust after someone who's 20.
no, but it's true. Like they keep getting younger by the year. Like I'm 04 and I'm like seeing people from like 07. I'm like, they keep getting younger by the year. They keep adding
See,
artists.
and Jeff's 95, and I'm just like, oh,
Not that far.
that's within one hand.
But yeah.
But it's nice. Like the maturity is different, and I don't know. There's something that like it makes them a touch more like relatable, because the stuff that like I want to support the actors. Like I want to support, you know, Puen and Forth and Gemini and all of them. But like what they are going through, I am so far detached from that I'm just like, I will watch your shows, but we are not in the same place in our lives.
We got our own struggles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Random.
Okay, so circling back to Paradise of Thorns, one of the things that I absolutely love about it, because I know we talked about Jeff in it, but like overall the show, like I love the way that it highlighted Thailand and the issues in Thailand. Like it felt like social activism a little bit hidden behind entertainment, and I love when that happens. And it showed the like gritty, and so much of what the Thai media that is shown in America is either like we're going to only show Thailand in the best light, or we're going to make it seem like super foreign and like an Orientalism type of issue where it's like, here's this like strange, obscure thing that is novel and cool just because it's so different. And like that didn't feel like it was made for Western audiences. It wasn't like it felt like it was probably a relatively accurate portrayal of what Thailand is like in rural areas and some of the issues that they're struggling with. And to like bring those to light, like I'm sure that there were some battles to be had when you talk about laws and things like that and try to push for change a little bit. And the fact that they took that on, I think is cool. Especially like here, if you take something like that on, there's conversations about like our audience is going to be put off by this because they want entertainment, they want to detach from their struggles.
Yeah.
True. That's true.
There are so many different issues that were brought up in that, like, yeah, obviously marriage equality, but there were a lot of other things like healthcare and rural access to things and like the family dynamics and
I liked how it came out around the time that it was already the marriage had already been legalized, but it hadn't been started yet because they had to wait those whatever days. But you know that they were filming it, that they came up with the idea before when they were still like fighting for it. So I think that's really cool, like to see how that tied in, like how it ties in culturally.
Nothing to say about that besides go watch it.
So good. Yeah, I checked it. It's not on Netflix America.
So is there anything? So we've watched a decent amount of Thai media. So I feel like I generally understood most of the references and things like that. But are there things that you guys think and or need some explanation to get the most out of that show?
Not that I can think of. I mean, no.
The only part I feel like stood out to me was whenever he became a monk or like he went through that phase. I found that very like touching because I didn't understand it until I did the, and I was just like understood what it meant and why he had to go through that. And I feel like if you're not into Thai media, it's kind of strange as to like why would you go through that?
Yeah. So like the dynamics and the laws with family and property are interesting because like how things will go to an immediate family member. I know like
or to the parents.
Yeah, I just was thinking about like how property is passed to like
I think
children and parents and like the spouse is less significant, it seems like a little bit, but I don't know. I don't have like concrete information on.
Well, it seemed like in the show, if his name would have been on it, it would have been different if he would have added his name on it because he's also Thai. Or if they would have been able to legally get married, it would have went to him. But since they couldn't and he never added his name on it, it goes to the parents.
Yeah.
That show.
Yeah.
Got me angry, got me sad, got me so many emotions.
But I also like I think one of the things that viewers like would help to understand is like the general attitude about parents and family dynamics because going back to the becoming a monk thing that you mentioned, like I don't know, I saw somewhere where they talked about the number one fear of children in each country. Like in some places it's like strangers or spiders or the dark, and in Thailand it's disappointing your parents, which is like a really interesting. I think it was Thailand and China both had disappointing parents as the number one fear. And so there's a lot of stuff that like when you get ordained because it's a Buddhist country that like helps your parents if when they pass away. It's like interesting that you're willing to do some of that stuff. And so like for him to step in and be like, in order to get approval, be like, I'm going to be your step in and be your son so that I can get ordained so that you can get the benefit of me going through this process. Like that might not make sense to people who aren't familiar with how some of that stuff works and why she would be willing to take him on as a son in order to get that benefit.
Those sacrifices. Oh my gosh.
Well, and then the fact that the like daughter couldn't because women can't become monks, so he had in some senses an edge over her. Like both of them had to like use what they had.
Yeah.
Like she could marry a public official and bring some name and title into the household, which he couldn't do. But he could get ordained. So like, you know, you're limited to your roles and the things that you can do within that society.
Forgot about that.
That sister.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
No spoiler alert.
I might have to edit this one a lot.
Was such a good movie.
Yeah, it really was.
It was so powerful. And the fact that it was a movie and not a series, I feel like they fit in as much information and emotion as I would get in a full series.
I'm just so happy that they had the subtitles in the theaters.
True.
Yeah. And so Michelle and I saw it in Bangkok, and Sarah, you saw it in Chiang Mai, right?
Yeah.
And it had subtitles in both locations.
Yeah. So good.
It was so good. We also saw it very weird because we were the only people in the theater.
Really?
Yeah, we were the only three people. There was only three of us in the theater. They started the movie as soon as we sat down, which I don't know if that was like perfect timing or if they like did that on purpose. They brought us food to our when we went to the bathroom. They were like, "What do you want?" And then they brought it to us and had it sitting at the seats waiting for us.
You're like, thank you.
Yeah, I was just like,
I went with two other girls. They're in the group chat. Oh my gosh. And we were the only foreigners watching the show.
really?
Yeah, and I feel like the rest were Thai people. But
was it pretty full?
Kinda. But considering that we were the only foreigners, it kind of felt funny.
So I think we went on opening day, and we found out that the showing after the one we watched was one of their like friends of SM.
Yeah.
So
or like a couple after. I don't think it was the one right after, but
yeah, so people probably didn't buy tickets because they were buying tickets to watch it when celebrities would be there.
Done.
But like, I'm surprised that this movie hasn't gotten more attention and more awards. Like there recently, I don't want to say the name, but there's another Thai movie that got a lot of international attention. And to me, this one is just so good that I don't know if it just wasn't put up for anything or like it might be an intentional marketing choice. But I feel like it was so good that I kind of can't believe that it hasn't gotten more international attention.
Didn't he just win an award for the OST he made for this movie?
I just saw he won a lot of awards.
He won a lot of awards, but they're all for music. But I think one of them was for this. So it's like it's strange that he's winning awards for like the music that he made for the movie, but there's not. I haven't seen any awards for the movie. He always wins so many awards, and then you see him like struggling, like
trying to hold them all.
Yeah. Anything else anybody wants to add about Jeff?
Let's talk about what's your favorite album or favorite song at the moment. Let's get into the music. We've been talking about his.
I have to look. I like all of his songs.
Right now on TikTok, I know Ride or Die is really popular right now.
Yeah, but I think because that's his newest single.
Yeah, but one I love.
I can't think of what it's called. It's like I can never remember if it's comedy or tragedy.
Comedy, so good.
And I don't know why, like I confuse those two words. But I love that one. I love that he's kind of branching out to different music with Ride or Die too. Like it has more of a dancey beat.
Because he could just do everything.
He could do everything. Did you guys see his birthday party thing? His birthday event? So he was like in this like central stage and he had like a band around him, sort of. So he played some of his songs, but then they did like this jazzy accompaniment to him. And it was so good. Like it really added to some of the songs for me. And I wish that I could listen to those versions. Like I wish he would record it like they played it at that event.
I did not.
Almost Over You, I've been listening to on repeat too. It's just so good. I just love his voice. It's just so pretty.
It's pretty and it's unique.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
sometimes someone has like a nice voice and they can sing and they can hit the notes, but it's kind of generic and it sounds like anybody else who has a nice voice who can sing and hit the notes.
And his
But
does.
yeah, he has something special in his voice. Like it's beautiful, but it's unique and he does like some really cool stuff with it.
And he comes off like really humble. Like he knows that he's good. Like he knows, but also he seems like grateful for the fans and grateful for like where he's at and what he has. And
Yeah. Like we were talking previously about the guitar awards that he was on and he like walked around and let everyone touch his award. There were the videos of him doing that. And it looked like he walked out the event people were trying to like usher him to leave and he was like, "These are my fans. I'm gonna walk and see my fans. They're waiting for me." And like that just seems like something he would do. Like that's so classic. Him to like really care and appreciate it. Like I've seen clips of him at concerts and events like talking with fans and appreciating that they've traveled so far to see him and stuff like that.
Very kind, very selfless, I guess, because I feel like after certain fame, some artists tend to change, I guess, but he remains kind and humble to his fans.
And I think it's so cute that all the other like Thai stars love him. Like the picture with Tay recently. He's like, "Look, it's Jeff."
It just tells you the type of person he is, where he's loved by everyone.
It's just so good.
So is anybody watching that reality singing show that he's a judge on?
How do you say it? Shang Asia? Shang.
I don't know how to say it.
I haven't been watching it. I just watch clips of him.
I haven't watched it either, but I see a lot of clips from it on social media. Like I'll see little TikToks of him doing stuff, and it's fascinating to see a different side of him.
Yeah. And I feel like he takes that, like, I think you could see it too when he works with like Barcode and stuff. I feel like he really takes the job of being a mentor very seriously. And like, he sees like, especially like younger people, he just really wants to like help them succeed.
Very genuine with his work.
Yeah, and I love that because I feel like especially in Hollywood, like it's competitive. When there are new younger stars, everyone wants to take them down because they're going to replace you or whatever. And I feel like he's confident in his ability enough to be like, we can all succeed. Like I'm not going to tear down the up and comers. I'm going to support them because that's, what he wished he had had. I'm like, that's so, I don't know. He just seems like a genuine person in that way. We're all talking like we know him. Like, Jeff, he does
Jeff.
his thing.
Jeff. Well, at least that's the way, like, that's the way he comes off, at least. And from what you can also, like, anybody who's met him, like, the kind things they have to say about him. Usually, if somebody's a jerk, like, you'll hear stories about them being a jerk. And with him, you only ever hear, like, oh,
Yeah.
he was so nice. He was so sweet. And then he does some interviews and they're just so silly. And I love that he has, like, that silly, like, I don't know if you guys recently saw that outfit he was in with all the cats, and he had like the cat handbag
Yeah,
for Valentino for Paris. Yeah, and he's like, there's nothing in it. Just open it. He's like, I like cats.
Yeah. Yeah. That was adorable.
Well, thank you for watching our very first Saturday special where we just fangirled a little bit about Jeff. In the future, each episode might have a different like topic specifically, but this one was just kind of a general. So thank you.